What if the social anxiety you feel is actually a sign of strength, not weakness? Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful emperor of Rome, struggled with the same fears you face today. But he discovered 12 Stoic truths that transformed his shyness into personal magnetism. 2,000 years later, these same principles can completely rewire your anxious mind and free you from the fear of judgment in a matter of days. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like and comment where in the world you're watching from, because now I'm going to tell you everything. Do you ever notice your heart beating very fast or your hands starting to sweat when you are close to other people? Maybe you feel worried that you will say the wrong thing, or you think about how you look or sound to others. These are signs of social anxiety, a feeling that many people know very well. You might feel it when you meet a new person, when you speak in front of others, or even when you spend time with people you already know. Social anxiety can happen to anyone. It does not choose age, country, or job. It is something very normal, even if it feels strange or scary. When you feel social anxiety, your body and mind often react in strong ways. Sometimes your face feels hot or your heart seems to beat in your ears. Your stomach may feel tight, and you might start to breathe more quickly. You could feel a need to hide, or you may hope that nobody will look at you or ask you questions. It might be hard to speak or even to stand still. These are common reactions, and they come from a natural part of your body that wants to protect you. Your body is sending you a signal that something feels difficult. You may notice these feelings at many moments in your life. For some people, social anxiety appears only from time to time, like before a presentation at school or work, or before making a phone call. For others, it is present much more often, like at family dinners, group meetings, or even out shopping. Sometimes the worry can begin hours or even days before the event happens. You may start thinking, "What will people think of me?" Or, "What if I make a mistake?" These questions make the feeling of anxiety grow larger, and it can become hard to focus or enjoy the things you want to do. What causes these feelings? There are many reasons. Sometimes social anxiety is learned from a young age, or it grows from old memories of being laughed at or judged by others. For some, it may come from wanting to do everything right, or from being sensitive to people's words or actions. It can even be made stronger by tiredness, stress, or changes in your life. No matter the cause, having social anxiety does not mean there is something wrong with you. It is just a way your mind and body try to handle situations that feel hard. You might wonder if you are the only one who feels this way. Often, people with social anxiety think they are alone with their worries, but this is not true at all. If you look around a room, you can be sure that others also feel nervous, even if they look calm or relaxed. Some people show their anxiety with quietness or by staying away from groups. Others try to hide it by talking a lot or making jokes. But inside, they may have the same feelings as you. Social anxiety is a normal part of being human. Sometimes, social anxiety grows stronger because of the thoughts you have. You might believe, "Everyone will laugh at me," or "If I make a mistake, people will not like me." These thoughts can make you want to avoid talking, joining a group, or sharing your ideas. You may start to avoid situations that make you nervous. At first, this can feel safe, but in the long run, it often makes anxiety feel bigger. The more you avoid, the more your mind believes you cannot handle being with others. Feeling nervous around people or worrying about their opinions is part of what has kept humans safe for many years. Long ago, people needed to stay in groups to survive. If you upset others, you could be alone, and that was dangerous. Your body and mind remember this, even if the world is different now. Today, it is very rare that a mistake in a conversation can really hurt you, but your mind acts as if it still can. That is why your heart races and your body feels on high alert. Social anxiety can make simple parts of life feel much harder. Going to the store calling someone on the phone, or even chatting with a neighbor can become big challenges. You might think of reasons to say no to invitations, or you might feel disappointed in yourself for not doing what you hoped. Sometimes you might watch other people and think that they never have these feelings, but they do. Everyone feels uneasy or worried at some point. It just does not always show on the outside. Having social anxiety does not mean there is something wrong with your mind or body. Many very strong, smart, and good people feel this way. Sometimes you see someone who looks brave and calm, but inside they are struggling with the same worries. Some of the most successful people in history had social anxiety. It did not stop them from doing great things because they learned to live with their feelings and find ways to handle them. When you feel social anxiety, you may see your problems as very large. Sometimes you think, "I can never get better," or "This is just how I am." But you are not stuck. It is possible to learn about this feeling, to understand it, and to find ways to make it smaller in your life. Social anxiety is something you can work with, not something that needs to control you. One important thing to know is that social anxiety will not last forever. Feelings change. Even if you feel nervous now, this does not mean you will always feel this way. Your feelings can shift, and you can help them by using ideas and tools that make your mind calmer. You might also believe you need to be perfect or never make a mistake, so you can avoid feeling embarrassed. But this is not the truth. All people make mistakes, and most of the time, others do not notice or care as much as you think. People are busy with their own lives and feelings. When you make a mistake, it can feel very big to you, but for others, it is often small or forgotten. It is also normal to care about what others think. That is part of being a person. But if you are always worried about their opinions, you will find it hard to live your own life. Instead of trying to guess what others want, you can start to notice your own thoughts and feelings. You can learn to be more gentle with yourself and accept that sometimes you will feel anxious, and that is all right. There are ways to help yourself when you feel social anxiety. You can use slow, deep breaths to calm your body. You can take a small step, like saying hello to someone or asking a question, even if you feel nervous. Each time you try, you show your mind that you can handle these moments. Over time, these small steps help reduce the power of anxiety. If you need to go to a party or speak in front of a group, you can plan ahead. You can think of 1 or 2 things to say, or practice what you want to share. You can remind yourself that feeling nervous is normal and that it will pass. You do not need to be perfect. Just being present and doing your best is enough. You may also notice that your feelings come and go in waves. Sometimes you feel fine, and sometimes you feel more worried. This is normal. If you learn to notice these waves, you will see that the hardest moments do not last. Even strong feelings will become softer if you give them time and do not fight with them. You can remind yourself, this is a feeling, and it will pass. It is helpful to remember that you are not alone. Many people of all ages and backgrounds deal with social anxiety. Some people talk about their anxiety with a friend or a family member, which can make the feeling lighter. Other people write down their thoughts in a notebook and see how their feelings change over time. You can find ways that work best for you. One step is to accept that you have these feelings and to know that it is okay. You do not need to push your worries away or be angry with yourself. Accepting your experience is a friendly thing to do. It makes you less harsh with yourself and helps you learn that you can feel nervous and still do the things you want to do. Sometimes it is possible to talk to other people who understand. You can join a group or read about people who have gone through social anxiety. When you hear their stories, you will see that no one is perfect and everyone has hard moments. This gives you hope and shows you that change is possible. You can also remind yourself that feelings are not dangerous. Even if you feel very nervous, if your heart is racing and your skin is sweating, these are only signs that your body is working extra hard for a short time. These feelings cannot really hurt you, and they will calm down again soon. When you begin to understand your anxiety, you will see that you are stronger than you think. It takes courage to face situations that worry you. Every time you make a small step, speaking up, starting a conversation, or just staying in a difficult moment, you are growing your strength. Some people find it helpful to make a list of situations that make them anxious, from smallest to biggest. Then they choose one small thing to try, like saying good morning or asking a simple question. After some practice, that small thing feels easier, and they can try something a little harder. Step by step, you can learn to feel more comfortable, and your world opens up bit by bit. Social anxiety can also teach you to be more patient and kind, both with yourself and others. When you know what it feels like to be worried, you're more likely to help someone else who is struggling. Your feelings can be used to make you kinder and more understanding. You may meet people who do not understand how strong social anxiety can feel. They might tell you to just relax or don't worry so much. If this happens, remember that you know your own feelings best. It is not always easy to explain, but your feelings are real and you can handle them in your own way and in your own time. Some people decide to ask for help from a professional like a counselor or a doctor. This can be a very wise step because these people are trained to listen and to help you learn new tools. You do not have to do everything on your own, and there is no shame in asking for support. If you are reading this, you are already taking your first step. You are choosing to learn, to look closely at your feelings, and to find ways to make your life better. That is something to be proud of. You might worry that change will never happen, but remember, even the longest journey starts with a single step. Social anxiety is one part of your life, but it does not have to control every day, every action, or every thought. New ways of thinking, gentle actions, and patient practice can bring more peace and courage into your life over time. The most important thing is to believe that you can understand and manage your feelings. You are not alone, and you are not weak for feeling anxiety. With small steps, kindness, and patience, you can change how you feel, even if it happens very slowly. Social anxiety might always be a visitor in your life, but it does not have to be the boss. You are stronger than the anxious feelings. Every attempt you make to face your worries is another sign of your bravery. With time and understanding, you will discover that being with people can feel easier and even enjoyable. Social anxiety is just one part of your story, and your story can have many good moments, friendships, and successes. The journey begins by simply knowing and accepting what you feel, right now, as you are. Understanding where social anxiety comes from is important, but it is also important to learn what is really true and what is not true about this feeling. Many people have ideas about social anxiety that are not correct. Some of these ideas can make you feel worse about yourself, but you do not have to believe them. It is good to know the truth so you can be kinder to yourself and feel less alone. One common idea is that social anxiety means you are weak. People sometimes think that if you feel nervous in social situations or worry about what other people think, it means you are not strong. The truth is that social anxiety does not mean weakness at all. Many people who feel it are still able to do difficult things in their lives. Social anxiety is just a feeling that comes and goes. It is not a sign that you are not brave or not powerful. Even people who stand in front of big crowds or have important jobs can feel nervous inside. Feeling shy or worried sometimes is part of being human. Another wrong idea is that only a few people get social anxiety and that most people never feel this way. This is not true. Nearly everyone has moments when they feel awkward, unsure, or nervous in front of others. You might not see it, but inside, almost everyone feels anxiety at some point. Some people hide it better or talk about it less, but they still feel it. Social anxiety is very common, and it does not matter where you live, what your job is, or how old you are. No one is fully protected from feeling this way. Some people might say that social anxiety is only for young people, or that you grow out of it as you get older. This is another myth. People of any age can feel nervous or anxious in social times. You could be a child, a teenager, or even an adult with gray hair, and still feel your heart race when meeting someone new or speaking to a group. Over time, you might learn ways to manage these feelings, but they do not always disappear completely by themselves. There is also an idea that if you try hard enough, you can make social anxiety go away forever. The truth is that you can learn to manage it and make it smaller, but you might still feel nervous sometimes. Even after you learn many ways to help yourself, you may have days when you feel anxious. Feeling a little worried is not a problem. What matters is how you understand your feelings and how you treat yourself when you have them. You do not have to be perfect to feel better. Every small step you take makes a difference. Sometimes people believe that they should never make mistakes if they want others to like them. This idea puts a lot of pressure on your mind and makes anxiety worse. The fact is that all people make mistakes. You can forget a name, say something silly, or feel uncomfortable, and most people will not even notice. If they do notice, it is normal and okay. Mistakes do not make you a bad person or someone not worth knowing. They simply show you are human, just like everyone else. Another myth is that everyone is always thinking about you and noticing every small thing you do. In reality, people are usually busy with their own thoughts and their own lives. Most people are not paying close attention to everything you say or do. They are thinking about their own worries and hopes, just like you are. When you remember this, you might feel less nervous because you know that others are not watching your every move. Sometimes, a person with social anxiety thinks that if they feel nervous, it will show and everyone will notice. You might think your red face, shaking hands, or the way you talk will be clear to everyone in the room. The truth is, these signs are usually much less obvious to others than they feel to you. You may notice every small change in your body, but other people often do not notice or do not care. Even if someone does see that you are nervous, they may not judge you. They may understand or just not think much about it. Many people also think that social anxiety is not something you can change, but you can always learn new ways to manage your feelings and live the life you want. No feeling is fixed. All feelings can change over time with practice and patience. When you decide to learn about your anxiety and help yourself, you are already taking steps to change your life. There are people who think that to be liked, you must always say the right thing or be someone special. That is not true. People respect honesty and kindness much more than perfect words or actions. Nobody needs to be someone else to have friends or good relationships. If you show who you really are with your own words and your own way of being, that is enough. Those who care about you will like you for who you are, not for being flawless. You may notice that when you feel social anxiety, your mind starts to tell you stories that are not real. It might say things like, "I am different from everyone else," or "something is wrong with me." These stories are not true, but they can feel strong. You do not have to believe everything your mind tells you. Your thoughts are not always facts. It is okay to notice them and let them pass. Sometimes people believe that if they avoid every social situation that makes them nervous, they will feel better. This works for a short time, but over many days or weeks, it can make anxiety bigger and make life smaller. If you say no to everything, you may miss out on new friendships and good experiences. Facing your fears in small steps can help you become braver and make anxiety feel less strong. Another idea is that you must handle social anxiety alone and not tell anyone about it. The truth is, talking to someone you trust can make you feel lighter. Sharing your feelings does not make you weak. It shows you trust yourself and care about your own well-being. You are allowed to ask for help and to talk about what you feel. You might also hear that social anxiety is not important or that people should just get over it. But social anxiety is real, and it can feel very strong. It does not help to pretend your feelings do not exist. You can accept them, try to understand them, and work with them in your own time and your own way. It is easy to believe that if you feel anxious in social situations, you can never have a good and successful life. This is not true. Many people in history and in the world today have felt social anxiety and still built happy lives, made friends, loved others, and done important things. You can too. Feeling anxiety does not put a limit on your dreams. It is just one part of your experience, not your whole story. Sometimes you might worry that your social anxiety makes you look weak or strange. But if you look closely, you will see that most people respect others for facing their fears, not for never having them. If you see someone try to do something difficult, even while they feel shy or worried, you probably feel respect for their effort. People feel the same about you. You do not have to hide your true self to be valued. It is also helpful to remember that strength comes from doing things even when you feel nervous. Every time you go to a meeting, speak to a new person, or stay in a social situation, you are showing great courage. You do not need to feel confident before you act. Action, even when you feel afraid, is itself a sign of strength. Over time, the more you do, the stronger and more comfortable you feel. If your mind tells you that you are the only one who has these worries, it helps to hear real stories from others. So many people have walked through hard times with social anxiety. Some of them share their stories in books or online. When you read what others say about their feelings and challenges, you start to realize you are not alone. This gives hope and comfort so you can take new steps in your life. Another important truth is that you are not defined by your anxiety. You are much larger than any single emotion or worry. You have skills, hopes, dreams, and good qualities that matter. Your value as a person does not depend on feeling calm all the time or never making mistakes. You are enough as you are. There are no rules that say you must always be calm when with others. If you have days where you feel more nervous or shy, it is okay. If you have days where you feel a little stronger, that is good too. Feelings change like the weather, and you can learn to handle all kinds, calm ones and stormy ones. Some people see their anxiety as something to get rid of, but it is just a feeling. You can let it be there without letting it make decisions for you. If you learn to accept that sometimes you feel uncomfortable, it can become easier to do things that matter to you, even with anxiety present. Sometimes people believe social anxiety is the same as being shy. While they can look the same on the outside, they are not exactly the same. Shyness is a personality trait, and it can be gentle or quiet. Social anxiety is a feeling that makes you very worried or uncomfortable in social situations. You might be shy and not feel afraid. You might have social anxiety and wish you could be more outgoing. Both are okay, and both can be understood. You do not have to push your feelings away, and you do not have to fight with them. If you treat your social anxiety with a little kindness and listen to what it is telling you, it can begin to lose its power over time. The more you understand what is true and what is just a myth, the more you can choose how you want to live. You have a right to belong, to make friends, to do new things, and to be yourself, even if you feel nervous. There is no rule that says you have to be perfect or fearless to be part of life with others. You are allowed to be a work in progress. When you hear someone say something about social anxiety, or when your mind gives you a new worry, you can ask yourself, is this really true? Or is it just a story, a myth? Taking a moment to question your thoughts is powerful. Not every thought deserves your trust. Learning the facts about social anxiety helps you stop feeling ashamed about your feelings. Shame grows in silence, but truth grows in the light. The more you know what is true, the less you judge yourself, and the easier it is to move forward. You can use small questions to help yourself every day. You can ask, are my thoughts about what others think really true? Is it possible that other people also feel this way? Have I made it through social situations before? Your answers will help you see things more clearly. Knowing the myths and the facts can help you explain social anxiety to others if you want to share your experience. You might find that your honest words make another person feel safe to talk about their own worries as well. This can bring people closer together. The truth is that most people are much more caring, understanding, and forgiving than you expect. If you are honest, kind, and true to yourself, you are doing more than enough. You can invite others to do the same. Everyone wants to feel safe, accepted, and respected. You do not need to hide your nervousness or cover up your feelings. If you need to take a break or slow down, that is okay. You are your own best friend, and you can take care of yourself. It is brave to show up and try, even when you know you might feel uncomfortable. There are many things you can learn about yourself through social anxiety. It can help you become more patient, more gentle, and more able to help others. With time, knowledge, and practice, you can live a life that feels full of hope and peace, even if anxiety sometimes visits you. Great changes begin with small facts. The more you understand social anxiety and let go of wrong stories, the more space you have for new hope and new ways to grow. Knowing the truth is always the first step to feeling better and building more confidence in any part of your life. With the right support and good information, you can move from feeling alone toward feeling stronger and connected to others. Step by step, you learn what is real, and you see how much is possible when you treat yourself with kindness and courage. When you learn that social anxiety is something many people feel and that it is not your fault, you can begin to look for hope and real examples. Sometimes, hearing a true story can help you see what is possible. One such story comes from long ago, from a man named Marcus Aurelius. His life is proof that even someone with great worries can learn to face fear and live a meaningful life. Marcus Aurelius was born almost 2,000 years ago in the city of Rome. He was not a normal boy. He became a very important leader, called an emperor when he was a man. As emperor, Marcus Aurelius was in charge of many people. He had to make big decisions every day, lead an army, listen to problems, and try to do what was best for his people. From the outside, it looked like he was very powerful and strong. But inside, Marcus felt many of the same things you might feel. He had doubts about himself. Sometimes he felt worried. He often felt nervous when he had to speak in front of others or lead big groups. He even felt lonely at times. Marcus did not hide these feelings from himself. He noticed when his heart beat very fast before he spoke to a group, or when he wanted to run away from a problem instead of facing it. He wrote in a book about his daily life and his thoughts. In his own words, he tried to understand what made him afraid or worried. These words he wrote are still read today, and they help people see that even the most important and brave people sometimes feel the same fears as everyone else. What made Marcus Aurelius different was not that he never felt fear. It was that he learned ways to face his fear and still do what was important to him. He looked for ways to stay calm and act with wisdom, not just with worry. He did not wait for all his fear to leave before he acted. Instead, he acted and learned to make peace with his feelings. Marcus Aurelius found help from a way of thinking called Stoicism. Stoicism is a set of ideas about how to live a good life, even when things are hard. It teaches that you should notice your own thoughts and feelings, but also remember that you can choose how to respond. Marcus used these ideas to help himself every day. He practiced thinking about what was really in his control and what was not. He asked himself each day what actions he could take and which worries he could let go of. When Marcus was a young man, he often felt nervous in front of others. He wrote about his hope to become better at speaking and leading. He wrote about his worries that people would not like him or agree with him. Over time, he learned that everyone makes mistakes and everyone has fears. He reminded himself to be gentle with his own mind, to do his best, and to accept that he could not please everyone. He had many teachers who showed him how to think about problems in a new way. One teacher told Marcus that his thoughts were sometimes less true than he believed. Another teacher showed Marcus how to be simple and honest so that he could trust himself. The advice from his teachers helped Marcus remember that his feelings did not have to control him. They were only one part of life, not the whole story. In his book, Marcus Aurelius wrote many simple sentences to himself. He wanted to remind himself every day that it is okay to feel fear, but it is also good to focus on what is real and important. He wrote that everyone has their own struggles. He wrote that being kind and truthful is more important than being perfect. He wrote that life is full of chances to learn and that mistakes are part of learning. Some days were harder for Marcus. When he led the army in difficult times or when many people needed his help, he felt tired and worried. There were days when he wished life could be easier. On those days, Marcus remembered to say kind words to himself. He reminded himself to breathe slowly, to take small steps, and to trust that his feelings would change. He did not want to run away from his worries. Instead, he wanted to learn from them. Even as an emperor, Marcus Aurelius felt alone sometimes. He had many people around him, but he knew that only he could understand what was in his own mind. He learned that it is okay to be quiet and listen to yourself, and also okay to ask others for advice when you need it. He wrote that being honest about your worries can help you notice what you need and help you grow stronger. Marcus Aurelius listened to people around him and thought deeply about their words. He learned to watch his own thinking and ask himself questions. Each morning, he spent a few quiet moments thinking about what kind of person he wanted to be that day. He asked himself to be fair, to be patient, and to do what was right, even if it felt hard. He knew that every day would have challenges, but he was ready to try. He also noticed that other people were often worried and afraid. Even his friends, his soldiers, and his family had their own doubts. Marcus learned that everyone is trying to do their best with the troubles they have. He respected people for trying. He did not judge them for feeling weak or afraid. This made him a better and kinder leader. Marcus Aurelius kept learning all his life. He did not stop just because he was a powerful man. He made mistakes and tried to fix them. He felt nervous and learned how to calm himself. He listened to others and learned from their ideas. The words he wrote to himself were never proud or mean. They were gentle, honest, and full of hope. He knew that strength is not about never being afraid, but about moving forward, even when you feel afraid. His story is a good reminder that social anxiety, doubts, and fears do not keep you from living a good life. Marcus Aurelius did not let his worries stop him from helping others or doing his duty as leader. He faced his fears, sometimes one small step at a time, and he encouraged himself to keep going. One important thing that Marcus learned was to accept that some things cannot be changed. He could not control every person's thoughts or make everyone love him. He could not make difficult situations easy. But he could always choose how he acted and how he treated others. He focused on doing his best with what he could control, and he tried to let go of the rest. Years later, people still read Marcus Aurelius's words to find comfort and strength. He did not want to be perfect. He wanted to be real, honest, and kind, both to himself and others. His words help people remember that being human means feeling many things, and that every feeling can teach us something important. When you think about Marcus Aurelius, remember that even the most powerful leader had days of doubt. You do not need to lead an empire to feel nervous or to learn and grow. You can take small steps in your own life to notice your feelings, to treat yourself with kindness, and to keep moving forward. Learning about Marcus Aurelius gives you permission to face life just as you are. If you feel social anxiety or worry, you are not alone. You are connected to many good people, both now and in the past, who have felt the same. Their stories show that you can try new things, make mistakes, and grow stronger. If Marcus Aurelius could find ways to face his fears and learn about himself, you can do the same. You do not need special skills or a big job. You only need to notice your own feelings, take small steps, and be gentle with yourself. Your life is your own, and you can find your own ways to handle worry. His example shows that gentle practice, patience, and honest self-talk can make life better, no matter how you feel today. You can pick up these simple habits and try them in your own way. You may find that you feel a little stronger each time you do. The things Marcus wrote to himself still guide many people today. Some of his thoughts were about not worrying too much about pleasing others. He wrote that the only true job is to act with kindness and honesty, not to make everyone happy. This can help you if you often worry about what people think. You can remind yourself that your value does not depend on the opinion of others. Marcus also believed in being careful and gentle when making decisions. He liked to wait and think before speaking. If you feel social anxiety when you have to speak, this is useful advice. You can pause, breathe, and remember that you do not need to rush. You can take as much time as you need. He wrote about how every day is a new chance to be patient with yourself. He believed that each day brings both good things and hard things, and it is okay to feel both happiness and worry. When you are gentle with yourself, you can face hard moments with less fear. Marcus Aurelius also learned that it is not possible to win every argument or be right every time. Sometimes people disagree, and that is normal. You do not need to change every mind or fix every problem. If you do your best and try to be fair, that is enough. He suggested writing down your feelings and your thoughts. This helped him see his worries more clearly. If you feel anxious, you can try writing in a notebook. You can write down what you are afraid of and what you hope for. This can help your mind feel lighter and more organized. One of Marcus's favorite habits was to ask himself, "Is this worry really true? Is it as big as I think?" He learned that many fears grow bigger in the mind than they are in real life. When he remembered this, he could act even when he felt nervous. He wrote about being thankful for what he had. Even when days were hard, he tried to notice small good things like a meal, a lesson, or a kind word. Being thankful helped him see that his life was not only full of problems. There was good, even in small moments. Marcus Aurelius had respect for others. He did not laugh at people for being afraid. He remembered that everyone is trying to do their best. This helped him make better choices, and it made others trust him more. He also believed in trying again, even after a bad day. Some days, he did not do as well as he hoped, and he felt disappointed, but he learned to forgive himself and try again the next day. He wrote that starting over is a good thing, and that nobody is perfect. If you remember Marcus Aurelius's story, you see that you can grow from your fears. Your worries do not need to keep you from living a full life. You can face each day, notice how you feel, and still move toward what you care about. This way of living does not need to be fast. It is okay to take little steps. With practice and patience, you can feel more peaceful with your own thoughts. You can choose to treat yourself and others kindly, the way Marcus Aurelius learned to do. You might try reading what he wrote or writing your own words after a hard day. You can think about what is in your control and what is not. Over time, your worries can become less strong, and you may find that you feel braver in many situations. Marcus Aurelius's story reminds us that anyone can learn and grow, even with fear and anxiety. Great strength does not mean living without worry. It means continuing to try, to learn, to help others, and to treat yourself with care, no matter what you feel. When you give yourself permission to do these things, you are already living with wisdom and courage in your own life. Learning from the story of Marcus Aurelius can help you understand that every person, even someone with many worries, can find a good way to live. There is a special way of thinking that shaped how Marcus Aurelius faced his problems and grew stronger. This way is called Stoicism. If you know what Stoicism teaches, you can use some of these ideas in your own life, even if your problems seem very big or small. Stoicism is a way of thinking that started a long time ago in ancient Greece. It teaches people how to live well by looking at their own thoughts, feelings, and actions. Stoicism does not depend on a certain place, time, or language. People from many backgrounds have learned about it and used its ideas. It is not a religion, but a way to see life and act in a calm and honest way. One of the main lessons in Stoicism is to notice what you can control and what you cannot control. Everyone faces things they wish they could change, but not everything is up to you. Your actions, your words, and your thoughts are in your power. What other people do or think, what happens in the world, and many events are not in your control. Stoicism asks you to pay attention to your own choices and to accept the rest. If you feel social anxiety, these Stoic ideas can give you strength. When you are nervous, your mind can become full of worries about other people and what they might think or say. But you cannot make people feel a certain way. You can only choose your words, your actions, and your own attitude. If you try to do your best, be honest, and act with care, that is enough. The rest is not up to you. Stoicism also teaches that your feelings are natural and human, but they do not have to make your decisions for you. You will feel happy, sad, worried, calm, and many other things in your life. Stoics say that feelings are like visitors. They come and they go. You can notice them, but you do not need to let them guide everything you do. Even when you feel strong emotions, you are still able to choose how you act. Another important part of Stoicism is learning to live in the present moment. Many people with social anxiety think a lot about the past or worry about what might happen next. Stoicism helps you remember that you can only live in this moment, right now. You cannot change what happened many days or years ago, and you cannot control things in the future. Your power is in the present. If you focus on what is happening right now, your worries about the past or the future can become softer. Stoicism teaches you to accept yourself and reality as they are before you try to make changes. This does not mean you give up. It means you start by being honest with yourself about your feelings, your strengths, and your difficulties. If you can see yourself clearly, you know what you need and where you can grow. You do not have to pretend you do not have anxiety. You do not have to hide your thoughts. You can simply notice them and accept them as a part of you. Another Stoic idea is that your value as a person is not decided by outside things. You do not become more important just because you have more money, more friends, or more praise from others. In the same way, you do not become less important if you feel nervous, make mistakes, or do not win every time. Your value is already in you. You are important because you are a person who thinks and feels and tries to do what is right. This idea can bring you peace, even when life is difficult. If you use these simple Stoic ideas, social situations can feel less scary. For example, if you need to speak in a group and feel afraid, you can remind yourself that your only job is to share your thoughts honestly. You cannot control if everyone agrees or likes what you say. If your voice shakes or you forget a word, you can accept it. These things do not make you less. They are natural. You can turn your mind back to what you can do, breathe, try, and listen. Stoicism does not mean you should have no feelings or become hard like a rock. It means you get to decide what you do with the feelings you have. If you are very anxious before going to a party, you can say to yourself, "I am feeling worried," but I will do my best. You do not have to fight with your fear or pretend it is not real. Instead, you welcome your feeling and you choose a small action, like saying hello or smiling. Your job is not to feel perfect. Your job is to act as best as you can. A Stoic person pays attention to their thoughts. Sometimes your mind tells you things that are not true. You might think, "No one will like me," or "I will fail." Stoics learn to notice these thoughts and decide if they are true or just habits. If a thought is not helpful or not honest, you can let it go and choose a better one. For example, you can say, "Many people feel nervous. I am just one of them." Or, "If I make a mistake, I can learn and try again." This new way of thinking helps you feel safer inside. Stoicism also says that you do not need to wait to feel brave before you act. Action comes first, and feelings often change after. You might still feel worried while starting a conversation or joining a group. This is normal. When you act, even with fear, you show yourself that you are able to live as you wish. Over time, as you practice, acting becomes easier and your worry becomes less strong. Wise people in Stoicism also talk about having patience. Learning anything new takes time, and that is true for learning how to manage anxiety as well. You do not have to hurry or expect change in one day. If you are patient with yourself, you can take one step, then another, and you will see progress. Each day is a chance to practice being calm, honest, and present. Stoicism helps you see that life is always changing. Some days are easy, and some are very hard. Sometimes you will feel proud of yourself, and sometimes you will be sad or tired. Stoic ideas give you support because they work in every kind of day. If you wake up feeling anxious, you can remind yourself that all feelings pass. If you wake up feeling strong, you can use that energy to help others or to try something new. There is also a focus on simple living. Stoics believe that you do not need many things to be satisfied. True peace comes from inside you, from your own actions and choices. You will always find things outside your control. If you put all your hope in those, you may feel disappointed. If you put your hope in your own words, actions, and attitudes, you feel steady even when outside things are difficult. Many people find that Stoic ideas help them let go of old habits of judging themselves too much. If you make a mistake, you do not have to be harsh or angry with yourself. Stoicism teaches that mistakes are a normal part of being human. You are not less valuable because you tried and failed. In fact, every time you try again, you are building your strength. You can use Stoic ideas in small, daily ways. Take a few minutes each morning to ask yourself what you want to focus on today. Maybe you want to be kind, to listen, or to try one new thing. At the end of the day, you can think back and notice what you did well and where you can try again next time. You are not trying to be perfect. You are simply learning each day how to live in a way that feels true to you. If you feel a strong emotion, you can practice pausing before you react. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is this something I can control or not? If it is, do your best. If it is not, let it go as much as you can. This small act can change how you feel about many situations, and it can help your mind feel clearer. Stoicism also talks about helping others. You are not the only person with worries or pain. If you look around, you will see that everyone has their own struggles, even if they do not show them. Being kind, patient, and gentle with others can make you feel better too. You start to see that you are part of a bigger group, and your actions matter to many people. It is normal to forget the Stoic ideas sometimes, especially when you feel stress or anger or sadness. But each time you remember, you can return to them. You can start fresh at any moment. You do not lose your progress because of a bad day. You do not have to keep all these ideas in your mind at once. You can choose one small thing to try. Maybe you decide to focus on what you can control today. Maybe you choose to remind yourself that your thoughts are not always facts. Maybe you decide to show patience to yourself or another person. Every small action is enough for now. There are also many simple practices that help you use Stoic thinking. Writing in a journal, as Marcus Aurelius did, can help you see your worries and thoughts more clearly. You could also repeat a helpful word or phrase to yourself like, "I control my actions," or "This feeling will pass." You can breathe deeply when you feel nervous, and you can let your feelings be there without trying to make them go away too fast. Some people find help in reading simple Stoic quotes. These words can be repeated in your mind when you need strength. For example, "Do not worry about what you cannot change," or "Be honest with yourself," or "Act with kindness, no matter how you feel." You do not face social anxiety by yourself. Many people, even those you admire, use these ideas each day. The more you try, the more you will see that small changes become new habits, and new habits become a new way of living. If a situation feels very hard, like a big group or an important meeting, you can still use Stoic thinking. Before you go, remind yourself, "My job is to act honestly and kindly, not to control what people think." During the event, remember to breathe and take your time. Afterwards, notice what went well and what you can try again next time. Stoicism is also about trust. You can trust yourself to do your best, no matter the result. You can trust time and practice to help you. You can trust that your life is a path, and you are going forward, even if it feels slow. If you ever feel unsure about Stoic ideas, you can return to the basics. Remember, focus on what you can control, accept what you cannot, act kindly, learn from each day, and treat yourself with respect and patience. These are ideas that work for anyone, at any age, in any place. Learning about Stoicism does not mean you will never feel social anxiety again. It just means that you have new tools to help yourself when you do. Life will always have surprises, but with Stoic thinking, you do not have to be scared of these surprises. You will know you can find a way through, even if sometimes you make mistakes or feel worried. Doing your best is enough. Being yourself is enough. Learning new ways of thinking is something you can do every day, one small step at a time. The ideas of Stoicism, practiced by many people long ago and today, can help you carry less worry and find more peace, no matter what is happening around you. As you use Stoic ideas in your own life, you will see that even difficult feelings do not last forever. You will start to notice small changes in how you think and act. You will feel more calm and able to be yourself with others. Each time you try, you build a stronger and kinder life for yourself. Sometimes when you want to find more calm in life, the hardest step is simply allowing yourself to be who you are. Many people with social anxiety hope that if they try hard enough, they will become a different person or never feel nervous again. Stoicism brings a different message, one that says it is good to start by accepting yourself as you are, right now. This idea is gentle and honest. It gives you a peaceful place to begin. Accepting yourself does not mean giving up or deciding that you never want to grow. Accepting yourself is about seeing the truth with clear eyes. It is about not fighting so hard against your feelings, your thoughts, or your way of being. You can notice your nervousness, your hopes, your strengths, and your mistakes. You can say, "This is how I feel now," without judging yourself or wishing you were someone else. Marcus Aurelius, who learned from Stoic teachers, practiced this every day. He reminded himself many times that he was not perfect. He knew he would not always speak the right words or make the right choices. He learned that he could still be kind to himself, even on days when he felt worried or tired or uncertain. He learned to let go of the idea that he needed to turn into somebody else to be worthy. This gentle idea can help you too. When you feel social anxiety, it is easy to believe that you are not enough as you are. You might look at other people and think they are better, they are more confident, they know what to say. Your mind may tell you that you must change everything about yourself before you can have friends or enjoy being with others. These thoughts are very common, but they are not the truth. Everyone, even those who look strong on the outside, has worries and doubts inside. No one is perfect or sure of themselves all the time. Stoicism teaches that being yourself is better than trying to win the approval of others by becoming someone you are not. If you accept yourself, you give yourself a chance to feel peaceful inside. You can let go of the fight to be perfect. You can begin to notice what is true for you right now. This means seeing your own good qualities and being gentle with your own hard moments. Accepting yourself is not always easy. You may remember times in your life when someone was unkind to you or when you made a mistake. You might feel embarrassed about past words or things you did not do. Sometimes your own thoughts about yourself can be more harsh than anything another person could say. Stoicism helps with this by reminding you that every person has moments of weakness, doubt, and error. These parts of you do not take away your value. They are simply what make you human. If you listen to your mind closely, you may say harsh things to yourself without even noticing. Your mind may say, "I am always messing up," or "I am so strange," or "People will not like me if they really know me." Stoicism teaches you to listen and notice when these thoughts appear, then ask, "Is that really true?" Most of the time, you will find that these words are not true, or at least they are not the whole truth. You might make mistakes sometimes, but you also care, try hard, and learn every day. A good way to accept yourself is to look for small things you like about yourself. These do not need to be big or special. They can be very simple things. You might tell yourself, "I am a good listener," or "I care about other people," or "I try to be honest." Notice one thing you do each day that is good, kind, or helpful. By paying attention to these simple things, your mind starts to see your own worth. Even on days when you feel nervous, you are still someone who cares. You can also practice acceptance by noticing your feelings with kindness, not with judgment. When your heart starts to beat fast or your hands feel shaky, you do not need to fight the feeling or pretend it is not there. You can notice, "I am feeling anxious right now." You can take a few slow breaths. You can remind yourself, "It is normal to feel this sometimes." This simple act helps you turn a harsh moment into a softer one. Some people with social anxiety feel a strong need to please others. They try to guess what others want to hear or want to see, and they worry about being liked. If this sounds like you, it can be helpful to look at this thought and remember, you do not have to please everyone. It is not possible to make all people like you, no matter what you do or say. Even the kindest, funniest, or strongest people you know are not liked by everyone. You do not have to be perfect to be accepted. If you start with those closest to you, think about the people who truly care for you. These people do not love you because you never make mistakes or because you always say the right thing. They care for you because you are you. They care for you even when you feel shy, tired, or upset. This is how you can learn to care for yourself too. You do not have to wait until you feel perfect. You do not need to be someone else. Accepting yourself gives you space to learn and grow at your own pace. It is hard to learn new things when you are always fighting against yourself. When you are kind to yourself, your mind is calm enough to notice what you want and need. You will notice things you would like to do differently, but now you can try them in a gentle way. You can be curious about new steps instead of being afraid. Being gentle with yourself does not mean you stop trying. It means you try with kindness, not with force. If you want to speak to a new person and you feel afraid, you can remind yourself that it is okay to feel nervous. You can decide to try, even if you do not do it perfectly. Every small effort is a step forward. If it feels too hard today, you can try again another day. Sometimes you may hear an inner voice saying, "You should be better by now." Stoicism teaches that life is a journey. You are allowed to take your time. Learning to accept yourself is a gentle process. There is no finish line you must cross by a certain day or year. Each day gives you another chance to practice acceptance. It is easy to believe that acceptance means you stop changing. But true acceptance is really the first step toward change that feels safe and lasting. When you stop fighting with yourself, your energy is freed up to try new things. Instead of using your strength to hide or run from your feelings, you use it to move forward in small ways that matter to you. One simple exercise you can try is to write down a few things you accept about yourself right now. Let them be small, real, and honest. You might write, "I am a quiet person." You might write, "I sometimes feel nervous in groups." You might write, "I try my best, even when it is hard." When you see your own words on paper, you may notice that being honest with yourself does not feel as scary as you thought. Another practice is to talk to yourself as if you were talking to a good friend. If your friend came to you and said, "I feel nervous and not good enough," you would probably say kind words. You might remind your friend of all their good points. You might tell them it is okay to make mistakes and that you still care. You can give the same kindness to yourself. Some people think that if they are too gentle with themselves, they will never improve. Stoicism does not teach this. Stoicism teaches that acceptance and effort work together. When you accept your feelings first, then you are ready to try new things. Real change comes from a place of honesty and respect, not from fear or anger. Over time, you may start to feel more comfortable being yourself around others. Your words may come more naturally, and your body may feel calmer. You will still have days when you feel nervous, but you will also have more days when you feel free to be yourself. You may even begin to like the things that make you different from others. These are your special qualities. If you struggle with self-acceptance, remember that it grows like a plant. You water it with small, kind actions every day. Each time you are gentle with yourself, your sense of acceptance grows. Each time you notice a good quality in yourself, it grows stronger. Your worries may not disappear, but you will feel more able to live with them and enjoy your life. People around you will notice your change too. When you begin to accept yourself, others may feel safer to accept themselves as they are. You will find friends who respect your honesty and enjoy your company. You will feel stronger when you do not need to pretend or hide. Even if acceptance feels difficult, you can return to this idea every day. Each morning you can say, "I am allowed to be myself." Each night you can see how you lived that day. Every day is new, and you can try again. Acceptance also helps you handle failure. No one can succeed all the time. If you accept yourself, failure is just another step on your journey. You learn from it and keep going. Stoicism teaches that your value is not lost when you fail. The only thing that matters is that you continue to try with honesty and courage. It is also good to remember that acceptance is not only for your hard parts. You can accept your successes and your joys too. Sometimes it is hard to notice and enjoy your good moments, especially if you are used to worrying. Practice saying thank you to yourself when you do something well. Let yourself feel proud, even for small things. You can also help others accept themselves. If you show patience with someone else's worries or mistakes, you are giving them a gift. You are showing them what you are learning for yourself. This kindness spreads, and soon you may find you are surrounded by honest and gentle people. If you feel lost, you can always return to the idea that you are enough just as you are. If you feel anxious in a group, you can remind yourself, "I am allowed to be nervous." If you forget what to say, you can remember, "I am doing my best." Your worth does not depend on being perfect, on being calm all the time, or on being liked by everyone. When you accept yourself, You give yourself the strength to try new things, to speak, to listen, and to join others. You may even begin to feel curious about new experiences instead of afraid. The world opens up a little bit more. As you use Stoic ideas, you will see that self-acceptance is something that grows with practice. It may feel slow or uncomfortable at first, but every day you choose to be gentle with yourself. Every time you notice something good, you are taking a step toward a more peaceful life. You can end each day with a small act of kindness to yourself. You might write one good thing about your day. You might take a slow breath and thank yourself for trying. You might remember that you are not alone on this path. Many people are learning to accept themselves too. Being you, with all your feelings, is a strong way to live. Accepting yourself is not the end. It is the beginning of a life that feels honest, kind, and open. Each small act of acceptance makes you braver, not just with your own thoughts, but with other people. This is a gift you give to yourself every single day. When you begin to accept yourself, you soon notice that there are still moments when you feel nervous or worried around other people. You may remind yourself each day that you are enough, but sometimes thoughts and fears still rise in your mind. It often helps to remember that you do not have to control every single thing, and you do not have to make everything perfect. The truth is, you only need to focus on what you can control. This is another important lesson from Stoicism. Every day, you live in a world with many people, many ideas, and many different situations. Some things are totally outside your control. You cannot make another person's heart feel a certain way. You cannot decide how the weather will be when you leave your house. You cannot control what others say or how they look at you. There is no way to choose what will happen in every conversation or every meeting. But even with all these things you cannot control, there are always things you can control. Stoicism teaches you to notice this difference right away. Your actions, your words, and what you choose to think about, these are all up to you. You can choose to try to listen during a conversation. You can choose to say hello, to smile, or to speak kindly. Even when you feel nervous, you can gently direct your actions. Your feelings might be wild sometimes, but your actions can stay simple and clear. Many people with social anxiety spend much energy trying to guess what others think. You might ask yourself, will she like me? Or, did I say something wrong? Or, what if I look silly? You may try to change your words or your look, or you might worry all night about how you sounded. Stoicism encourages you to let go of these thoughts because they are about things outside your control. You will never fully know what is in another person's mind, and that is okay. What matters most is how you choose to act and what kind of person you choose to be. When you walk into a room full of people, you might feel a wave of fear or the wish to hide. In these moments, you can pause and ask yourself, what is in my power right now? You might decide to stand up straight. You might decide to take a slow breath. You might choose to look for one friendly face. You do not have to control the whole room. You only focus on your very next step. Every time you make a choice that is yours, no matter how small, it brings you a little more courage. If you stand in line and feel very anxious, you can direct your attention. You can choose to look at something on the wall, focus on your breath, or repeat a calm word in your mind. Even if your heart is racing, your body can stay still, and your mind can stay present. Learning to focus on what you can control also keeps you from blaming yourself for things that are not your fault. Sometimes friendships change, people are unhappy, or something goes wrong in a conversation. It is easy to think, I did everything wrong. But if you remember that you did your best with your words and actions, you can let go of the things that were never yours to carry. You cannot control if people like you, but you can be kind and honest. You cannot decide who will invite you to join their group, but you can say yes when the chance comes. If someone does not understand you, or if you feel left out, it does not mean you have failed. It only means that you control your side of the street and other people control theirs. Stoicism also teaches that thoughts and feelings rise and fall, but you have the power to pick which ones you listen to. Your mind might say, "I am not good enough," or "I cannot do this." Another part of you can gently answer, "I am doing my best, I am trying, that is enough." You can choose to give less attention to thoughts that make you afraid and more to thoughts that help you act. Some days you will feel calm. Other days you might feel very anxious as soon as you wake up. On days when the anxiety is strong, you might want to hide or cancel your plans. Stoicism suggests that you look for one tiny thing you can do, no matter how small. Maybe you decide to send a message to a friend, or to get dressed and go outside, even for a short walk. Choosing what is in your control gives you strength little by little. When you are in a situation that feels scary, it helps to remember that your feelings do not decide your actions. You can feel nervous and still act in a way you believe is good. You can choose to listen, to be polite, to take a breath. The outside world cannot control this, but you can. It is always your choice. If you try something new and it goes wrong, you can think about what was in your control and what was not. If you were quiet and a group did not include you, that is their side. You can look at your own actions. Did you smile? Did you speak? Did you try? If yes, you did your best. If not, you have learned something for next time. You do not need to blame yourself for the actions of others. Even your feelings are not always in your control. Sometimes sadness, worry, or fear appear in your heart and mind before you even notice. Stoicism teaches that this is normal. You can accept that a feeling is here, but you do not have to act on it. You can let it rise and let it fall while you keep doing what you care about. Try to focus your attention on small actions. Before you join a meeting or enter a group, you might decide, "I will say one thing today," or "I will keep eye contact with one person." These are clear, simple things you can control. At the end of the day, look back and notice what you did, not what you could not control. Give yourself kindness for all of your efforts. It is helpful to use gentle reminders. You can tell yourself, "I control my words, I control my actions, I let go of what is not mine." You can write these ideas on a piece of paper or say them quietly when you feel afraid. They bring you comfort because they are true. When you feel shame or regret, focus again on what you can control now. You cannot change your past words or actions, but you can choose what you say or do next time. Every day brings a new chance to make a different choice. Sometimes you will want to ask for forgiveness or try again. These actions are also in your control. You cannot make others forgive you, but you can offer your true words and actions. You can always aim to be gentle and real. If you have small goals for social situations, you can mark which parts of the goal are in your control. For example, if you want to meet a new person, you can decide to say hello and listen to one thing they say. You cannot control if they become your friend or if the conversation goes perfectly. You only need to do your piece. Some people find it useful to set intentions each morning. You might wake up and think, "Today I will try to listen well," or "Today I will sit for lunch with others." If the day does not go as planned, you can remember what was in your power and try again next time. Gentle intentions. Keep your mind simple and focused. When your mind worries about the future, Stoicism teaches you to return to today. You cannot predict every event. You cannot know what will happen next week or next month. What you can do is focus on this hour, this moment. Right now you can decide how to act, how to speak, and how to care for yourself. Your body too is something you can care for. If you feel anxiety, you might try slow breathing, stretching your hands, or walking for a few minutes. These gentle actions can help you feel a bit more steady. If you often feel lost in what to do, make a small list of things you can control in any situation. These might be your breath, your words, your clothes, your body language, or the way you treat others. Everything else, people's reactions, what they say, what they think, is not yours to control. Letting go of what you cannot control does not mean you stop caring about others. It only means you do not carry every worry. You can wish good things for people. You can offer kindness, but you do not need to change others to have peace inside you. You can also be proud of every effort you make to do what is in your power. Every time you try, you are growing your courage. If you are honest, fair, and do your best, that is enough. When you try to force something you cannot control, you will feel tired and unhappy. But when you focus on your part, you feel calm and free. If other people criticize you or misunderstand you, you can choose how to respond. You might decide to listen, to say nothing, or to share your feelings gently. What they feel and do is not yours to fix. This can feel strange at first, but it brings comfort the more you practice it. Focus also helps with worry. If your mind jumps from one problem to another, notice what you can do now. If you are waiting, focus only on waiting. If you are eating, focus only on eating. These simple acts keep your mind close to your own power and away from things you cannot change. It can help to remember the lesson from Marcus Aurelius. His words often showed he tried only to do his part, not the parts of others. He wrote about letting go every day of things that did not belong to his choices. He tried to be patient, kind, and honest. When he made a mistake, he tried again the next day. Try not to measure your worth by what others say or do. Your worth comes from your choices, acting with care, trying your best, being true to yourself. You cannot be someone else, and you do not need to be. If you ever feel you have no control, pause and ask what one small thing you can do now. It might be a breath, a word, or a short step forward. Every gentle action chosen by you is a sign of your power. The lesson of focusing on what you can control is simple but powerful. It says that every day you have the chance to choose again. You do not have to carry what is not yours. You do not have to change the world to be at peace. You only need to do your part with kindness and honesty. As each day ends, you can look back and remember your efforts. Praise yourself for trying, for acting, for letting go of what was never in your hands. Over time, this way of living becomes easier. It becomes a habit that brings calm. Many people feel anxiety for many days or years. By learning this lesson, you begin to make a small but strong change. Your world becomes less heavy, your mind becomes clearer, and you feel more able to live with others and with yourself. Focusing on what you can control is not just about today. It is about building a way to live that allows you to grow, to try, and to rest. Each time you return to this simple idea, you show yourself respect and care. This is a lesson that helps every person, no matter their age, story, or worry. Letting yourself focus only on the things you can control brings a kind of peace. But it can still be very hard to stop thinking about all the things you wish you could change. Often, when social anxiety comes, your mind tries to see into the future or guess what other people believe. Sometimes you feel a heavy weight from thinking about what might go wrong or remembering things that did not go well before. Even if you know you cannot control these things, it is common for your thoughts to return to them over and over. The lesson from Stoicism is clear. Do not hold on to what is not yours to fix. This means teaching yourself again and again to let go of worries and thoughts that do not help you. It does not mean you will never worry or that you will never care about the future. It means you learn to notice when your mind is caught on something you cannot change, and you give yourself permission to put it down. Letting go can feel difficult at first. You might think that if you do not keep thinking about every problem, something bad will happen. You might believe you should be able to solve everything, but this is not true. Many things in life are outside your reach, no matter how much you want to help or fix or plan. When you notice these worries coming again and again, remind yourself, it is safe to release what is not in your hands. One way to practice letting go is to pause and notice your thoughts without judging them. When you see your mind racing with ideas about what could go wrong at a party or how others might judge your words, stop for a moment. Say quietly to yourself, "This is not something I can control." If the thought returns, repeat these words again. Over time, your mind learns that it does not have to solve every problem. If you feel fear about a situation that may happen next week or next month, take a deep breath and bring your attention back to today. Think about this morning, this hour, this minute. Ask yourself, what is real for me right now? Most of the time, the thing you are afraid of is not happening now. Your worry is bringing a future thought into the present moment. Stoicism teaches you to come back to this moment because now is the only place where you have power. When you blame yourself for things that happened a long time ago, it is another sign that you are holding on to something you cannot change. The past is gone. Your old words, choices, and meetings are over. You can learn from them, but you cannot relive them. Each new day starts fresh. Remind yourself that your power is not in old memories. Your power is in what you say and do today. It can help to keep a small list, maybe in a notebook, of things that are outside your control. The weather, the opinions of others, the words other people choose, things that already happened, and what is going to happen very far in the future. Looking at this list makes it easier to notice when your mind is busy with things that do not belong to you. Sometimes social anxiety makes you want to prepare for every possible bad thing. You might walk into a room and think about all the ways things could go wrong. This habit is very common, but Stoics learn that imagining every problem does not protect you. It only makes you more tired and scared. Instead, practice coming back to what is real and what is now. Even if something goes wrong, you will have the chance to handle it when it happens. You do not need to live it twice, once in your mind and again in real life. Every time you succeed in letting go, even for a few seconds, you are teaching your mind to trust itself. You do not have to chase every thought. You do not have to believe every worry. When you let go, you give yourself more space inside. You can see, hear, and enjoy things that you did not notice before because worry took up so much room. You will still have feelings of worry, anger, or fear, but you can practice letting these feelings be like visitors who come and go. You can say, "Hello, worry," and then allow it to leave when it wants. You do not need to invite worry to stay. If worry wants to visit, let it, but do not try to fight it or hold on to it. Letting go of what you cannot control also means being gentle with yourself. There will be days when your mind returns to old worries many times. You do not need to be angry when this happens. Just notice it, take a breath, and try again. You can always start fresh, even if you have to do so many times in one day. There are simple ways to remind yourself to let go. Some people find it helpful to say a word or sentence to themselves when worry comes. You might say, "I let this go," or "This is not for me to fix." Or you can write your worries on a paper and put it in a box, telling yourself you do not need to think about it now. Each person finds their own way, and every way is okay if it helps you. Being with other people can make these worries feel even bigger, because you care about what they think or how they act toward you. If you find yourself worrying about how you will be seen, stop and give yourself a quiet moment. Remind yourself that you cannot control what others believe or feel. What they choose is theirs, just as what you choose is yours. If you make a mistake when speaking, or if you feel embarrassed, notice if your mind starts to replay the moment many times. You may want to change what happened, but you cannot. Instead, gently tell yourself, "It is over. I did my best at that time." It is fine to wish things were different, but it is not helpful to stay stuck on something that cannot be changed. Sometimes you will notice that your mind wants to hold on to fears about the future. You may not even know what you are afraid of. You just have a feeling that something bad could happen. This is normal. Everyone has these moments. But Stoicism says that you do not need to live inside of these fears. You can breathe, you can return to what is here now, and you can choose a small action that is in your control. Letting go also means not trying to make every situation perfect. If you hope to never make mistakes, never look awkward, or never feel afraid, you will always feel disappointed. Being human means having bad days and good days. No one is at their best all the time. When you learn to let go of being perfect, you invite more peace into your days. You can use your body to help you let go. If you feel your muscles are tight or your breath is short, take a few minutes to relax your hands or shoulders. Take 5 slow breaths, feeling them move in and out. This is a small reminder to your mind that you are safe and that you can let go of what is not needed. It is important to know that letting go does not mean you do not care. You can still care deeply for your friends, your work, and your dreams. Letting go only means you give up trying to control what is impossible to control. You focus your love and care on the places where you do have power. Letting go of what you cannot control is also a way to show yourself respect. You no longer carry extra weights that belong to the world or to other people. You carry only what is yours, and you care well for those things. This makes you feel lighter and more able to handle what comes next. When you learn to let go, you may notice that you have more energy for things that bring you joy and meaning. You spend less time arguing with your own mind or replaying old worries. You can pay more attention to the people who matter to you, to your own small goals, to the beauty of the day around you. Some people make a habit of letting go each night before they sleep. They take a few minutes to remember the day and name the things that are finished. If you find yourself thinking about a mistake, a word, or a worry, you can say, "I let it be. Tomorrow, I begin again." This habit helps your mind rest so you can wake up ready for a new day. Letting go also helps you to forgive yourself. If you said something you wish you had not said, or if you did not do what you hoped, you can admit it, learn from it, and move on. Everyone in life has regrets, but those regrets do not need to take over your life. You can offer yourself compassion and keep going. It is also helpful to forgive other people. If someone was rude or unkind to you, you can let go of the wish to change them. This does not mean you say their actions were good. It only means you choose not to let their actions rule your thoughts or your peace. When you struggle with letting go, you can look for stories of people who have faced hard times and learned to move forward. You will see that even the bravest and calmest people have worries and fears, but they practice letting go as often as they can. You may need to return to this lesson again and again. Life always brings new things you cannot control, but each time you choose to let go, you grow stronger in your practice. Each time you focus back on the present, on your own actions, you build a more peaceful mind. Letting go of what you cannot control makes space for acceptance, patience, and growth. Your social anxiety will try again and again to make you think about what others feel, about the past, or about every possible thing that could happen. Each time you can gently guide your thoughts back to the present, to what is yours, and leave the rest behind. You can do one thing at a time. You can set down worries when you notice them. You can trust that you are enough, that it is safe to live without being in charge of everything, and that your mind and heart grow stronger each day you choose to let go. Over many days and months, these small acts of letting go turn into habits. You find over time that your life feels less heavy, your mind feels more quiet, and you have more room for new feelings, for joy, and for calm. The world does not change, but your way of living and thinking becomes more peaceful. Everyone learns at their own speed. If you have a day where letting go is hard, be gentle with yourself. Rest, try again, and remember that you can always begin once more. Your worth is not measured by how much you can carry. Your strength grows each time you choose to let something go that is not yours to hold. Letting go is a practice that you return to in every stage of life. It is never finished, but it becomes easier with each small step. When you make it a habit to let go, your life opens up and you can move through each day with a lighter heart. You do not need to solve everything or plan for every moment. You only need to meet this day as you are, let go of what you cannot control, and be kind to yourself with whatever comes your way. As you become better at letting go of what you cannot control, you may wonder what steps you can take every day to live with less anxiety and more calm. Knowing what to do is often not enough. You need small, simple actions that help you feel safe and strong in the middle of your real, daily life. This is why practicing Stoic ideas with easy exercises can be helpful for anyone, no matter where you live, how old you are, or how long you have felt anxiety. Each day brings new moments where you can practice these exercises. You do not need to plan for a whole year or change your whole life at once. You only need small actions you can repeat as often as you like. Each step you take helps you build a habit of calm thinking and gentle living. Over time, these habits begin to feel more natural, and your mind learns that you can be peaceful even with some worry. One simple exercise is to start your morning with a choice. When you wake up, give yourself one small goal for your day. It can be as easy as, "Today I will say hello to someone," or "Today I will sit in a new place at lunch," or "Today I will listen carefully in a conversation." This small goal should be something you have control over. It is important to make the goal about your own action, not about what happens or what others do. If you reach your goal, notice it and give yourself gentle praise. If you do not, remind yourself that you can try again next time. Breathing exercises are another practical tool. When you notice that your heart is beating very fast or you begin to feel worry, stop and take 5 slow breaths. You can count each breath quietly in your mind if you want. With each breath, feel your body become more relaxed and your mind become a bit more quiet. This small act is helpful because it is always something you can do, everywhere and every day. Journaling is a strong practice many Stoic thinkers used. You do not need to write for a long time. Write down what you feel, what happened during the day, and what you did well. You might write, "Today I greeted my neighbor," or "I felt nervous in my class, but I stayed until it finished." By writing every day, you show yourself that you are making progress, even on days that feel hard. When you face a situation that makes you anxious, you can use a question called, "What is in my control?" Before you go into a group, repeat this quietly. My words and actions are in my control. How others react is not. This question brings your mind back to what you can do and helps you release worries you do not need. Being thankful is a practice that brings light and peace to your daily life. Each evening before bed, think of 3 things, small or big, for which you are thankful. Some days the things are simple, like a good meal, a kind word, or a quiet time during the day. By making a habit of looking for good moments, your mind learns that even on hard days, there are things to appreciate. This helps you trust that worry does not tell the full story. If you find yourself caught in worry or fear, try a ground exercise. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This exercise helps bring your attention from your anxious thoughts back into your body and the real world around you. When you notice harsh words in your mind, practice talking to yourself the way you would talk to a kind friend. If your mind says, "I made a mistake, I am so bad," answer with, "Everyone makes mistakes. I am trying, and I will try again." This gentle voice helps you move past regret and keeps your spirit strong. Forgiveness is another Stoic exercise. Before you sleep, forgive yourself for anything you wish you did better during the day. You might say, "I forgive myself for speaking too little in the meeting," or "I forgive myself for leaving the party early when I felt nervous." You can also choose to forgive others who hurt you or did not understand your anxiety. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, but it means you let go of anger and free your mind to rest. You can practice a pause and choose rule. Anytime you feel worry or confusion, pause for 3 seconds. Then choose one small action. Maybe it is to take a breath, to smile, to stand a little taller, or to simply stay where you are for 10 seconds longer. This rule teaches you that you do not have to react quickly to every feeling. Pausing lets you pick an action that matches your values, not just your first fear. Giving yourself a safe space during the day can help relax your mind. Even 5 minutes alone, sitting quietly, listening to your breath, or looking at nature, can refresh you. This break is not to run away from life, but to practice being gentle and steady with yourself. If you feel nervous before speaking, imagine yourself in the situation and walk through it in your mind. Picture yourself saying what you want to say, taking time to breathe, and staying kind to yourself. This mental practice can make the real situation feel a little easier because your mind has already taken the steps. Practice seeing other people as human, with their own fears and worries too. When you meet someone, silently remind yourself, "This person has hard days and worries as I do." This practice can help you feel less alone and remind you that everyone is doing their best. Practice giving compliments or small kindnesses. You can say, "Thank you," "Nice work," or even smile at someone. Notice how it feels inside when you focus on giving a good moment to others and not just on your own worries. When you need comfort, bring to mind a Stoic phrase. You might repeat, "Only my actions are mine," or "Feelings pass and come again," or "I am doing my best." These words give your mind a clear, safe place to rest. If you notice anxiety that grows during the day, you can gently tell yourself, "This feeling is here now, but it will change." Remind yourself that all feelings, good and bad, rise and fall. Just because you feel strong anxiety right now does not mean it will stay forever. Patience, time, and small acts of care help it soften. At the end of each day, review your actions, not just your feelings. Write down what you did that matches your values, even if it felt hard. Give yourself praise for every step. This helps you see that progress happens even in slow or hidden ways. If you want to build confidence, try a small challenge each week. It could be joining a conversation, asking a question, or sitting with a new group. Choose something that feels possible, but a little new. After you try, notice how you felt and what you learned about yourself. You can make your own list of calming actions. When you feel lost, choose something from your list. Some ideas. Drink a glass of water, step outside, listen to calm music, write 3 good things about your day, or reread your favorite gentle note. Small, real actions are often more helpful than perfect plans. When you feel strong anxiety, you can practice steady presence. Focus on your 5 senses, what you see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. This brings your mind back to the moment and helps your body feel more anchored. If your mind brings back old worries, label the thought, "This is a memory," or "This is a worry, not a fact." Labeling helps you see that you are not your thoughts. They are just things that pass through. Choosing a word for your week can be powerful. You might choose patience, kindness, bravery, or gentleness. Each day, return to your word and try to use it in one way. Small focus brings big changes over time. Tell yourself, progress is not about being perfect or fast. Progress is showing up, trying, and being kind to myself. Say these words out loud or write them where you will see them every day. Try to spend some time outside if possible. Sunlight, fresh air, and the sound of birds or leaves can calm your mind and body. Even a few minutes looking out a window or feeling the weather can help. When you must do something very hard, ask, what is the smallest step I can take? Only focus on that step, not the next 10 steps ahead. When that one is done, move to the next one. If you like to use your hands, try drawing, playing with clay, folding paper, or another gentle craft. This calms the mind and lets your feelings move without words. You can help your body with gentle movement. Stretch, walk slowly, roll your shoulders, or lift your arms. Body movement lets stuck feelings pass through and helps you notice when tension is growing inside. When you struggle, remember to pause and tell yourself that everyone, even people who seem strong, has days like this. You are in good company. If you use technology a lot, try to give yourself a few quiet minutes away from screens. Silence and stillness are good for calming the mind and letting you return to your own thoughts. If you feel pressure to always get it right, practice saying, "It is okay to learn. I am proud that I tried." Notice what you learn in each situation, not just what went well. Connecting with someone you trust can help. Talk about your feelings, your worries, and your small wins. Listening and sharing honestly creates a safe space for both people. If you wake at night with worries, keep a small notebook nearby. Write one gentle sentence to yourself. I am safe. This feeling will pass. I can rest. Sometimes putting words outside your mind helps you find sleep again. Be patient with yourself as you practice these exercises. Some days will feel easier than others. This is normal and okay. If you forget or skip a practice, begin again when you can. Make moments of joy part of your practice too. Notice when you laugh or feel happy, even for a second. Let yourself enjoy it without wishing it lasted longer or worrying it will end. Every action you take to help yourself, no matter how small, is a real step. You are building a life that matches your values, and you are showing yourself respect and care. Each exercise is an invitation, not a rule. Pick what feels useful for your life, and let go of what does not help now. You will find your favorites over time. As you practice, you may find that some situations are still very hard. That is natural. Return to your breath, your steps, your kind words, and your actions. Your gentle habits will stand beside you and help you one moment at a time. By choosing to use these small Stoic exercises every day, you teach yourself that help is always near. You are building habits that last, and your mind and heart can grow steady no matter what tomorrow brings. Practicing small Stoic exercises brings gentle changes to your days. But to truly build a strong base inside yourself, it is helpful to grow habits of self-kindness and gratitude. These two things can give you real confidence. They help you bring light to dark moments, and they show you a new way to see yourself and your life, even if you still feel anxiety sometimes. Self-kindness is a practice that many people forget when they are facing social anxiety. When you feel nervous, your first reaction might be to blame yourself. You might say hard words to yourself or believe that making a mistake means something is wrong with you. But treating yourself with kindness can make your journey much easier. When you remember to talk to yourself with gentle words, you make it easier to try, to learn, and to keep going after a hard moment. When you talk to yourself kindly, you sound like a good friend or a loving parent. If you forget what to say in a group, self-kindness means telling yourself, "That was a hard moment, but everyone has hard moments. I am not less because of this." If you say something you wish you did not say, self-kindness means saying, "That did not go as planned, but I tried, and next time I can do it differently." These words are simple, but they have real power. Some people worry that being soft with themselves will keep them from growing. But the truth is, self-kindness does not make you lazy or weak. It gives you the courage to try new things because you know you can return to kindness no matter what happens. When you treat yourself with respect, you are not afraid to make mistakes. You do not stop moving when you feel unsure. You might try starting each day with a self-kindness statement. You can say, "Today, I will try my best, and I will be gentle with myself if things are difficult." You can write this on a piece of paper or say it quietly in your mind. If the day brings a hard moment, you can return to these words. It is important to practice, even if it feels strange at first. At the end of your day, take a few minutes to notice what you did well, even if it was very small. Maybe you answered a question in class. Maybe you stayed in a group longer than you planned. Write these things down and thank yourself for trying. This helps you see the truth that you are learning, even when it does not feel easy. Forgiving yourself is also part of self-kindness. If you think about a mistake over and over, ask yourself, would I be so hard on a friend in this situation? If not, let yourself accept what happened and move forward. When you learn to forgive yourself, you turn your mistakes into lessons, not into reasons to judge yourself. Another way to build self-kindness is to take care of your body and your feelings. You can make a habit of resting when you are tired, eating when you need food, and moving your body gently every day. You do not need to push yourself too hard. Listen to what you need. This is not selfish, but a way to show your mind and body that they are important. Gratitude is another strong habit that helps with social anxiety. Gratitude is noticing and naming good things in your life. These do not have to be big things. You can be thankful for a warm meal, a smile, music, sunshine, quiet, or even your own efforts during a difficult day. When you make a habit of gratitude, you start to notice good things more often. You may wonder why gratitude is useful if you are still feeling worried or sad. But gratitude does not erase hard feelings. Instead, it sits beside them and reminds you that life also holds light. Thankfulness gives your mind something calm and good to look at when things feel dark. It helps you balance your thoughts and not get lost inside worry. Try to remember 3 things you are grateful for each evening. Some people like to say them out loud. Some people write them down in a small notebook or on their phone. Each day, your mind learns to look for these good things. Over weeks and months, this becomes a habit, and you will notice smiles, kind words, or small joys more often. Sometimes you might feel that there is nothing to be thankful for because the day felt too hard. In these moments, look for something very small. You can be grateful for a soft pillow, for being able to try again, or for getting through a difficult hour. The act of looking for goodness is more important than finding something perfect. Gratitude also helps you see yourself in a kinder way. When you thank yourself for making it through a hard day or for trying when things were tough, you build a sense of trust and friendship with yourself. Self-gratitude is a deep and lasting gift. It helps you feel proud of who you are, even when life is not easy. It can also help to thank other people. When you notice someone doing something gentle or caring, say thank you. If someone helps you by listening, or if they invite you to join a group, notice the kindness and offer gratitude. This builds trust and makes relationships feel safer and more real. The habit of gratitude makes it easier to handle setbacks. When you remember past good moments, they help you face new hard ones. You remember that life brings ups and downs and that you can make it through them all. Building confidence using self-kindness and gratitude does not mean that worry goes away forever. There will still be days when you feel anxious, days when you make a mistake, or days when it is hard to see good things. That is normal. Nobody has perfect days all the time. But each time you practice these 2 habits, you grow a little more stable inside. Over time, you will see that you automatically begin to talk to yourself in a gentler voice. You will notice more good moments as you move through your days. This does not make your feelings disappear, but it makes them much easier to hold. You can make self-kindness and gratitude a part of your social experiences. When you meet someone new, try to thank yourself afterward for being open and brave. If you have a good conversation, say thank you to yourself and the other person. If you feel shy, remind yourself that it takes courage to be present. You do not need to wait for something big to say thank you. Small efforts are worth celebrating. Practicing self-kindness also means setting gentle limits. If you notice that too much time with others leaves you tired, let yourself take breaks. It is okay to protect your energy and care for your own needs. Kindness means listening to your true feelings and respecting your own pace. If you fall into old habits of worry or self-criticism, be patient with yourself. Say, I see that I am feeling anxious, and I will treat myself gently. Allow yourself to start again at any moment. No step is too small and no day is wasted. Let yourself feel proud of every kind act, of each moment you notice something good, and each time you forgive yourself or someone else. These moments are the foundation of inner confidence. Confidence is not about always getting things right. It is about trusting that you can live honestly and kindly, no matter your feelings. Support from others can help grow your confidence too. Share your thankfulness with friends, with family, or with people you trust. When someone is kind to you, tell them. When you are kind to yourself, share your story if you like. This creates a circle of kindness that lifts everyone who is part of it. You may find it helpful to create your own rituals of gratitude and self-kindness. Some people write thank you notes to themselves or others. Some people draw pictures, sing songs, or create small objects that remind them of their progress. These private moments can give you comfort and remind you that you are growing, even on days that feel slow. Some days may bring challenges from old memories, harsh words from the past, or times when you feel left out. In these moments, return to simple kindness. Sit quietly, breathe, and tell yourself, I am here. I am learning. I am proud of my effort. You cannot change everyone or make all your memories soft, but you can shape what you do next, starting with gentleness. Over time, when you build your life on kindness and gratitude, your social anxiety loses some of its power. Worries become lighter and they pass more quickly. You learn that life is more than anxious feelings. It is also made up of bravery, laughter, kindness, and hope. Gratitude and self-kindness fit easily with the other Stoic habits you have learned. You can be present, accept what you cannot control, let go of old worries, and praise yourself for each step. Every action works together to give you a stronger, calmer way to be in the world. You are not required to be gentle and grateful all the time. You do not need to be a perfect example of peace. The goal is only to build a new habit, little by little, that supports you even when old feelings return. At night, when you think back over your day, ask, where did I show kindness? Where did I notice something good? Each answer is a seed for tomorrow's courage. Each morning, try to begin the day with hope. Tell yourself, I am enough. I am allowed to try. I will find good things, even on a hard day. With practice, this becomes a strong start, one that helps you meet the world as you are. Let kindness lead you through each new story, each conversation, each small risk. Thank yourself as you move forward. Every effort is worth noticing. Every step is a reason for gratitude. If you are ever lost, come back to these two simple practices: kindness to yourself and thankfulness for small good things. These will never leave you. They are always ready to help you begin again. Carrying gratitude and self-kindness into each day can make your life feel lighter. But sometimes your mind will still fill with thoughts that make you feel small or afraid. Being aware of your thoughts is a powerful way to deal with social anxiety. When you become mindful of what is happening inside your mind, you can start to notice patterns and gently change how you respond to them. Mindful awareness is simply the habit of noticing your thoughts, feelings, and body without judgment. You can do this anywhere, at any time, and it does not require anything special. You do not need special skills, tools, or a quiet room. All you need is your own attention. When you bring your attention to your thoughts and feelings, you take back some control over how you react to them. Many people with social anxiety find their minds filled with worries before they meet others. Your thoughts might say, "People will laugh at me," or "I will mess up," or "They will see I am nervous." Sometimes you believe these thoughts without stopping to ask if they are true. Mindful awareness teaches you to notice these thoughts, name them, and see that they are just thoughts, not facts. You can practice noticing your thoughts by sitting quietly for 1 or 2 minutes and listening inside. When a thought about the future or past appears, say to yourself, "I am thinking about tomorrow," or "That is a memory." When you say this to yourself, you begin to see that the thought is not who you are. It is only a passing visitor. Let it be there for a few seconds, then let it go. Feelings can also become strong without warning. Your heart might beat quickly, your stomach may feel tight, or your hands might start to sweat. Mindful awareness is noticing these feelings and saying, "I notice my body feels anxious right now. That is okay." You do not need to push away these feelings or pretend they are not there. You can simply notice and let them move through your body. Social anxiety often grows when you fight against your feelings or try hard to control them. With mindful awareness, you can practice simply allowing your feelings and thoughts to exist. When you stop fighting, the feelings often lose some of their strength. You may be surprised at how much easier it becomes to breathe or act calmly after you practice this skill for a while. You can use a basic mindful exercise anytime you feel nervous in a social situation. For example, if you are about to walk into a room, pause. Put your attention on your breath and feel it move in and out of your body. Notice your feet on the floor and your hands by your side. Listen to the sounds around you. Say to yourself, "Right now I am here. I am safe in this moment." This grounds you in the present and makes it easier to handle your feelings. When old worries about the past return, you can notice them without becoming lost. Say quietly, "That happened before. I am here now." By gently returning to the present moment, you train your mind to pay more attention to what is happening instead of what already happened. It is also common for your mind to rush ahead to what could go wrong. When you notice your mind saying, "What if I cannot answer the question?" Or, "What if they do not like me?" Pause. Notice that these are worry thoughts. You can answer, "That is a worry. Right now, nothing bad is happening. I will do my best with what comes." One important part of mindful awareness is being honest but gentle with yourself. You do not need to judge your thoughts. You do not need to label yourself as good or bad. You can watch your mind with kindness and remember that everyone has thoughts they do not like sometimes. You are not alone in this. Bringing your attention to the present does not remove all worries, but it helps you see that many thoughts and feelings come and go like clouds in the sky. They are not permanent. Watching them teaches you that your mind is capable of change. You can begin to choose which thoughts to trust and which to let pass by. Each day, try to practice mindful awareness for just a few minutes. You can use quiet time in the morning or take a moment in the middle of a busy day. Noticing the sun, the sounds around you, or how your breath feels can bring you back to yourself. If you forget one day, simply begin again the next. This gentle habit grows stronger over time. If your mind becomes very busy, you can write your thoughts in a notebook. Write down your worries one by one. When you finish, close the notebook and say, "These are just thoughts. I am more than my thoughts." This exercise can help you move out of worry and into the present. Social anxiety can sometimes make you feel as if everyone is watching or judging you. Practicing mindful awareness helps you balance your thoughts and see them more clearly. You can ask, is it true that everyone is judging me right now? Or is this just a thought my mind is creating? Often, you will realize that most people are too focused on themselves to notice every move you make. If you make a mistake, use mindful awareness to watch your reaction. Allow yourself to feel whatever comes up, embarrassment, sadness, or worry. Watch the feeling, name it, and tell yourself it will move through like all feelings do. You are practicing self-acceptance each time you do this. Another useful practice is gratitude in the present. When you are fully aware of where you are and what you are feeling, take a moment to notice one thing you appreciate. It could be a sound, a color, or the very fact that you are breathing. Even if you feel worry at the same time, gratitude can share space in your mind. Mindful awareness also means being present with other people. When you listen to someone, give them your full attention. Put down your phone, look at their face, and listen to their words. While you do this, notice your own feelings, but do not judge them. If you feel shy or quiet, let it be. If you feel interest or care, let it be. This kind of listening makes connections stronger and helps you feel more at peace. If you feel overwhelmed by strong emotions, you can use your 5 senses to anchor yourself. Name one thing you can see, one thing you can hear, one thing you can touch, one thing you can smell, and one thing you can taste. This simple exercise reminds you that you are safe and present. Some days will feel easy and some days will be hard. Mindful awareness helps you treat each day as new. You can let go of yesterday and not worry too much about tomorrow. Today is your place of power. Each small step adds up to real progress, even when you cannot see it. If you want to challenge unhelpful thoughts, speak to them as you would speak to a child who is afraid. You might say, "Thank you for your warning, but I am safe now." Or, "This thought wants to protect me, but I do not need it today." This approach respects the mind and helps you stay gentle with yourself. You can practice mindful awareness with others too. If you sit in a group and notice your mind is filled with worries, quietly bring your focus back to your breath, your hands, or the words someone is saying. Each time you do this, you become more skilled at handling social anxiety. If you remember, use your own name in a gentle way. Say, "I am learning. I am growing. My worries are not stronger than my values." This makes your practice personal and powerful. When you feel social anxiety at its strongest, use mindful awareness to remind yourself that the feeling cannot harm you. It might feel big, but it is only a group of thoughts and body sensations, and it will not last forever. Watch it, breathe, and let it pass in its own time. Daily practice is important, but you do not need to be perfect. Every small moment you remember to be present is a success. If you forget, simply begin at the next moment. Your journey with social anxiety is a path made of many small steps. Mindful awareness is a gentle light that lets you see your way, one part at a time. It gives you tools to meet worry, sadness, happiness, and all your feelings with openness and care. With practice, you may find your thoughts become less heavy, your feelings easier to hold, and your life more peaceful, even when challenges continue to appear. This is a skill you can use all your life, in every place, with every person you meet. Kindness, gratitude, present attention, and mindful awareness all work together. They help you create a more welcoming space inside for yourself, especially when you feel alone or different. They do not remove every worry, but they give you power to move forward, whatever comes. As you carry these ideas through your days, you know you can meet each moment with acceptance, courage, and quiet hope. Even with social anxiety, you are never without help, support, or your own growing wisdom.